Hey everybody, and welcome to our first Survivor recap show of the season. Right here, everybody, on TV Co. Yay! We apologize for being a week out on this. As you guys know, we have tons of all the postseason interviews with the Big Brother house guests that we've been doing, so we're trying to adjust the schedules while we're squeezing those in. So the Survivor shows normally from now on going forward will be on Thursdays at 7 p.m. So I hope you guys will tune in. Of course, if you miss any of them, you can check them out at yourrealityrecaps.com/survivor. And of course, make sure that you follow us here on TV Co, because that is where we will be doing our Survivor recaps each and every week. That being said, I could not talk Survivor without the man who loves Survivor more than anything else, and your favorite, it's Comedy Jonah.
Above everything.
Above everything. It's your favorite. You even got dressed up. You look like one of those people, like, you know, on Survivor when they're, like, on the boat before they have to, like, jump in the water.
This was going to be my outfit.
I feel like that was your outfit. And how perfect. Now, if I would have known that you were going to wear this, I would have gotten that clip that you posted of you in the water snorkeling in whatever island you were on. I would have been like, this is John. He was really on Survivor, everyone.
Well, I think each week I'm going to kind of annihilate this outfit. I'll get it all dirty. I'll start to rip it a little bit. Like I've been going, you know, through the days with all of my people, all 20 of them.
It's not dirty and ripped right now?
Just my underwear.
I see Denise in the chat says, wow, John's looking fancy. And Miss Jenny Talley says, yes, please. She would love it, John.
She would love it for me to just get dirty and annihilated each week.
She would love it. She wants it. She wants it. But I am excited to be here and talk Survivor with you, John Richardson. New season, Island of the Idols. We have Drunk Boston Rob back.
Oh my gosh. So I didn't really remember. So for me, when I thought Island of the Idols, I just thought maybe it was going to be kind of a reward. You know, instead of everyone just kind of running around, hiding, looking for idols, digging for idols, I thought there would just be an island.
Right.
Where we all knew that they were at, and then they could just kind of do it there like a reward, right? But we learned very quickly it's not. The idols are actually people.
Yeah.
They're actually people.
Now, did you watch the first time when they did the Island of the Idols? Because I did not watch the first time that they did Island of the Idols, which was very different from this Island of the Idols.
You know what? As I'm getting older, my memory is less and less, which is why I have tons of notes right here.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember a whole lot from it, so I don't know if it was memorable for me, but
well, this is memorable and monumental for everyone, because as everyone knows, I don't usually do the Survivor recaps. Usually that's your bag, or Amy did that. I always used to push the Survivor off on you guys, so I'm excited to finally be here watching a season of Survivor and getting
so excited too. Yeah,
it is. Well, there's some hotties this season, and some hotties that live by me.
Oh, I think we need to do a little cast assessment then, right? So talk about some of the hotties.
Yeah, I mean, who are you liking?
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, we've got a Ginger from Long Island, right? We've got Tommy.
Not only Ginger from Long Island, Tommy, he literally works in the same school. I found out during the premiere, works in the same school as, I don't want to say which of my family members, but let's just say a family member, and he works in the same school. I feel like we can get him on this show, John Richardson.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he's hot. Like, I mean, I don't like arm freckles, kind of grosses me out, but everything else I'm all about.
See, I love freckles. I love freckles on the face, around the nose.
Gross.
Now, and plus, too, I mean, you've read that article that gingers are
evil,
becoming extinct. So we have to have to procreate them.
No, we don't.
Make
They're
more.
good.
We
Let
have
them
to
go.
make more.
It's time. I'm canceling
No.
gingers.
I love vanilla. I love a ginger.
Not a fan.
Okay, so there's Ronnie.
Okay, now why do you like Ronnie?
Well, I've got right here in my notes, I just have sexy nipples. Is that bad? Is that...
I don't know why I'm trying to get to the photo of a sexy nipple Ronnie for you. I don't find it. What? Which, do we know what tribe Ronnie's on? Maybe because he wasn't that good looking enough for me to keep his photo.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, everybody's seen it, right? We're not really doing spoilers. I mean, we're a little bit of a week behind. So he was the first one voted off. That's Ronnie.
Got you. So that's why you just...
And so he's in, how do you say it? Lairo, yeah.
He is in
Well, they don't look that great right there.
No, he's in the late... I don't know how they say it either, because he always goes over it so quick. I just call them the Orange Tribe, but yeah. It's,
Orange Tribe, yeah.
I find it interesting that you were like, nice nipples, because I just think he looks like a little droopy.
Well, they look a little droopy there, but there was some good glistening spots before that. So I liked him. I thought he was cute. Who else do I think is adorbs?
That was Ronnie.
Tom, the NFL player.
You're disgusting.
Kind of a daddy.
Yeah, you're kind of gross.
Why?
Because this is what you picked. That is why you're gross.
Jason is cute. Jason Linden.
Well, first of all,
the Jewish boy.
He's definitely... I'm surprised you're not asking me how much I love him, but I just think it's funny that you would pick Tom when you have Dean on the same damn tribe.
Well, I mean, Dean is really young.
Okay, he's
not that
28.
Young. He's 28.
He's 28. That's not really young. That's way older than I crush over. Seems like anytime I like them, they're like...
Too young for me. Too old for you.
Yeah, every time I like one, it's like they're 20 years old, and I'm like, God, they look so much older. So I'm thrilled that I'm liking a 28-year-old. I see people in the chat. Aaliyah says she likes Vince.
Oh, I do too.
No, not a fan of the Vince.
See, I'm not a fan of the Jack.
Well, I get it. Here's my problem with Jack. Jack is long hair I care. I can't get behind Jack and his long hair. I can't. I'm not here for it.
No. And then there's Dan, who is the talent manager.
Yes,
He's
Dan.
kind of a daddy too. He's got great arms.
Okay, sure.
No. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
No, too old. Way too old for you.
People in the chat are saying that you have beer goggles on.
Beer goggles?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, meaning you're blind.
I can find attractive things about everyone, okay? I'm
right,
sorry.
well.
That's beer goggles. That's beer. It's tea goggles. I'm drinking tea.
Miss Jenny Talley said, what is John looking at? It's like an awkward school photo. Oh, I thought she was talking about you. What were you looking at in the photos? He's looking at the photos, don't you see? For those of you that are listening to audio only, you're missing that we have the photos of what we're talking about on the video playback. What do you think of Elaine? I mean, I know we're going to get into it but just quickly, I was wondering what you were thinking about Elena. Or Elaine. It's Elaine.
It's Elaine. It's Elaine.
Elaine, but
I love Elaine.
All right.
She's so sweet.
Great.
I love her trying to figure out what cumin is. This is the spice.
Mm-hmm.
She's very kind of, she's simple tastes, very sweet, big heart.
Okay. Big heart, simple taste. Got it. We love her. love her.
I love Missy. She is the veteran. She also was the one that she played basketball for the military and then had the brain tumor. And then as she got older, it got bigger. It grew with her until at one point she couldn't talk, she couldn't walk, and she's been through a whole lot. I love Janet, our mom, our super mom.
Right.
On the purple team. I love Janet can go in there. She's a chief lifeguard. She can go in there. She can make fire immediately.
Yeah, she could.
What if we said this whole time, like, why wouldn't you go in knowing how to do this stuff, right? And you know, Janet does it right off the bat, and I love that. I love her confidence. I love it when the other team was saying something to her, and she's like, yeah, we are hard workers. She just comes back with her little snaps, and I love, love, love it.
I, honest to God, like, without exaggeration, I, honest to God, feel like when you are cast for Survivor, I feel like the first question that they should ask you is, can you make a fire? And then
everybody says yes.
But the thing is, no, and then you should test them. Here's our Janet. But you should test them. But here's the thing. If they can't, you're not serious about being on the show. If you didn't take the time to even learn how to make a fire, I don't think you will contribute enough to this show to deserve to be on it.
Well, okay, if the show was Fire Maker, well, of course, I agree with you. It's not. It's Survivor. Yeah, it'd be great if you can make fire, but it's also a social game. You're also outlasting people. It's a competition. So there's a lot of other factors, but I just think, you know, some of these things you want to know. Like, you want to be able to make a fire. You want to be able to braid those leaves to make a hut. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you have to start, you know, maybe shuck a few coconuts, see if you can do it fast. You know what I mean? Like, do something.
You have...
And Janet has done it.
You have, I mean, I forget how many people it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You have a 1 in 19 chance at $1 million. If you did not learn how to make a fire, I'm sorry, you don't deserve to be there.
Well, you know, also, too, I mean, yeah, Janet knows how to make a fire. That's a great thing. It could also be a bad thing, too, because it's like, what else can she do that maybe she's not telling us?
Keep
like,
you alive. She can keep you alive.
A threat.
Yeah, she's a threat to keeping you not dead. So she's a threat too. So you keep her like, oh, I wonder what other survivor skills she could have for us that would keep us fed and full and warm. I'm scared of this on this island where hopefully it's not going to rain all season.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and you know, I love Vince. I think he's just absolutely just adorable. Such a sweetie pie.
Yes.
Who else do I like? Who's like a standout? And Kelly Kim.
Kelly
Her
Kim.
a lot too. She's the grad student.
Yes, she's the one who. Yep, she had a big part in the last episode. Our little Kelly Kim. I can't wait till we get to talking about that. I'll tell you who else I liked was Lauren. I definitely liked Lauren right here.
I like Lauren, yes.
Yeah. I do like Lauren. Who was the creepy touching guy? Says
that was Dan.
Yes.
The talent agent.
Dan.
The casting couch. Casting couch Dan.
Casting couch Dan loves to get handsy.
Dan, I don't want the parts that much. Come on.
Oh, Dan. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I felt bad for him. I felt bad for him on that first episode. But...
I didn't. I'm a touchy person too, as you know.
Yeah, but we're gay. We're allowed to get away with it. I feel like when straight people do it, it's different.
Not?
How do I know Dan is not gay?
How do we know?
Well, at first I was going to say I know he's not gay based on those shorts. However, he clearly went for
That's a good observation.
But he clearly went for the full body wax here, which makes me think, okay, maybe a little bit gay. So I don't know.
Maybe bi with the wax chest and the bad shorts. The bad babies.
Yeah, maybe he did a little bit of both. Maybe Dan's doing a little bit of both.
Just a little bit. Elizabeth, the Olympic swimmer of, 1984.
Right.
She's a little annoying. It's a little much. It's just coming at you. Yeah. And then in the last episode, of course, we learned a lot more about Nora.
Yes, a lot more about Nora, about Molly, in the last episode. Yes. Well, I say we jump into it, John. I say we jump.
I say we do it, absolutely. So, what's really, interesting about this beginning is that, we normally see the survivors, they're all on the boat, they've got all this fruit and chickens and tools and all this stuff. No, they're just on a regular boat, 2 different boats. The tribes have already been divided. Nobody's grabbed any buffs to see who's with who. It's already done. We have no Jeff. Jeff, where are you? Jeff?
And I was thrilled, by the way.
Baby, what's going on?
I was thrilled. I was like, oh, the season I come back, I don't have to listen to Jeff all season. This is for me. He's half the reason I don't like watching.
You are so bad.
He's horrible.
I love Jeff. I love him.
Oh, okay. Great. Of course you do. You have a penis.
It's daddy. It's a good daddy. So we've got no Jeff, and I think even one person even said, they thought he was fired, which I thought was really funny. So they get there, they get the buffs. There's no introduction. What do we do? They're standing around. Should we just build shelter? What should we do? Right?
Yeah.
So, Purple's really meshing well.
Right.
They've got, and then you got that one person. There's our Purple team.
Yeah.
And you got our one person, Jason, our accident attorney, Jewish guy, cutie pie. What?
Right. No, I'm just saying, I would love to be on that island with an accident attorney. Be like, I'm gonna win
You've signed a waiver.
I would pull.
You are locked in.
I would pull him aside and go, "We're both leaving this island with $1 million, and we don't have to make it to the end. Let's talk. What do you want me to do?
Throw me in a fire.
Step on a sea urchin? What did you tell me?"
Well, I don't know how smart it is, because Jason did go off to look for an idol, and it was noticed, especially by our touchy talent manager, Casting Couch Dan.
Right.
He's the one that got it kind of out there, like, hey, everybody, where's Jason at? So, so soon, you really don't want to do that. I mean, it'd only been, an hour or two when he did that.
Yeah, and I mean, I just want to say, do you agree with that or not agree with that? Like, if you were on Survivor, would you go looking for the idol immediately, or would you try and hang back a little bit?
I would not look for the idol immediately, because I would still be needing to assess everybody. Even before Jason left, he wasn't really assessing or anything, so his social game seemed kind of off. Then he goes to look for the idol, and it's really apparent. But I agree with Dan. Like, if someone I knew was just going to go to the bathroom, I'd be like, "Where's Eric?" I was looking for the idol. Where's Eric?
I was literally going to say, John, while you were busy not looking for the idol, I found the idol, and then when you were gone, I convinced everyone to vote you out, so thanks for not looking.
No, I think you swallowed one, and then it came out the other end.
Probably.
So that you could try to trick me.
Yes, that is a good place to hide it. It's a good place to hide it. But no, he went, Cheryl says, didn't he go to look for the palm leaf things for the... Yeah, that was his excuse, but he was gone for a very long time.
Right, because those leaves are all over the place. So,
right.
That was a little shady in this episode. Also, we did learn that Dan is a toucher.
Right.
And a few of the ladies just weren't having it, which I just think... And I saw some of the touch. I didn't think it was that bad, but you're not much of a person to be touched either. So how would that have affected you?
I mean, look, here is the thing 100%. Yes, in my real life, I'm not like huggy, touchy, affect, like, no, don't hug me, I'm good. Like in real life, yes. Now, if I was on that island, I would not be vocalizing that. You can do whatever you want. This is a social game, and I need to make you feel comfortable. In my real life, I don't need to make you feel comfortable. You're in my personal space. I'm going to stab you if you try and hug me. But in the game, we're playing a social game for $1 million. Oh, come into my personal space. Let me put down the mat for you. Welcome. Enjoy. The thing that I felt bad for him about was, it was clear, like, the ladies wanted to talk about it, but on the same hand, they were aware how talking about it on primetime television is going to put this label on him. But they
the Me Too, the Me or whatever.
No, okay, it's just air quotes Me Too, as if we're dismissing that. Okay, at Comedy Jonas, or you can tweet. But my point was, you could tell that they were struggling. Like, we want to talk about this, but we care about him a little bit too, was my point.
And I get that, but what I saw, I didn't think warranted that much. I mean, we saw him lay his head down on Kelly's knee.
Right.
We saw him put his hand on people's shoulders. I did the air quotes, the Me Now, because I don't think this is anywhere near the Me Now, which is a serious movement. Don't attack me, everybody.
Okay, Me Too.
I don't think this belongs into it. I think Dan kind of got a bad rap. And then, we see Kelly later on the beach telling him, hey, we just, we're here to play and we need our own personal space and burp, 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 So lay off. And then we see the competition where they have to be human ladder. And everybody's touching. So.
But how would you have gone about it to get him off you, though? Like, I feel like she didn't need to make it that big of a deal if she was really trying to, keep her social game. She could have just said something like, it was nice of you to put your head on me. Just, my husband or my boyfriend, I don't want him to get upset. Or,
so nice of you to put your head on me.
So nice of you to stick your head in my crotch, but my husband might get offended. So, could have went that way. Or she should have just said, you gotta really be careful. I have a skin disease, so you shouldn't put your, any part of your body on me. I don't want you to get it.
Yeah, none of those are good.
All right.
None of those are good.
Well,
I would be like you. I would let everybody just touch me.
Right. Well, of course.
Or if I was single and dating online, everybody can have a date with me.
Right.
That wouldn't bother me. But if somebody was just constantly doing it, I would maybe I would goose them or something. Maybe I would overtouch them, and then they would be like, "Oh wow, this is kind of weird." But then it would be awesome if they had to have a talk with me. Anyway, so.
So what we've learned today, kids, is that if you are being touched inappropriately, it is not okay, and you should tell someone that's not John Richardson, and they will help you.
Because my advice is to touch them worse.
Right. That was great advice.
Touch them in even naughtier places. Okay, so then we're on the orange team.
Right.
We see Tom, our NFL, daddy, kind of bonding with Vince, bonding with Elaine.
Right.
Elaine's super, super funny. I just love her. I also love that the girls in the orange formed a girls' alliance.
Right.
I liked that right away, too.
Right.
We see, Ronnie, Sexy Nipples, starting to play the game a little hard, a little fast. We see this in Big Brother, too.
Yeah.
Where he's, talking with our gal Elaine, or my gal. I don't know if she's your gal. She's my gal.
I was just going to say, I'm surprised that you like her. In all honesty, I am surprised that you are
stuck up.
Not that you're that stuck up. I just I see a lot of my personality traits in her, which I would think that would make you not like her.
I don't at all. So.
Okay, fine.
Because she's nice.
Wow.
So we see Ronnie talking to Elaine on the beach, saying, "Listen, you and I have been through a lot together, okay?
Right.
I can look in your eyes and I can see the pain.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I feel it.
And we need to stick together. And I'll have your back, you have mine."
Right.
And then right as they separate, she's like, "Oh, he was awful." I loved how smart she was. It was just like, oh, he was so creepy and slimy.
Yeah.
During that. And then he even, in his side interview, just saying that to say that. It's just like, oh, he's terrible. And then we learn he's got one in millions of jobs that he's had. It's just weird. He's just weird.
Do you think that people can bond over having similar life experiences? I grew up with hardships and you grew up with hardships, so we should stick together in this game because we're the hard knock kids type of a deal. What? Why is that laughing? I know that doesn't work for us.
Well, I mean, everybody has different types of hardships. I don't know
Right.
one human being that doesn't. So,
Right.
I mean, we should all have that just for each other. But I mean, you've got, people that have had similar stuff, like, and some people migrate over to, whether it's gender, whether it's age, it doesn't matter. But I mean, if somebody was gay, yeah, I would probably gravitate toward them more and be like, "Hey, girl, we need to stick together, okay?
Right.
We need to, yeah."
Yeah, no, I know. I totally get. I was just wondering if that is a strategy. I mean, maybe people can comment below if you guys are watching this back, or feel free to comment in the chat room if you have tons of people watching live in the chat room right now too. But comment below. Do you think that like social status is a thing that can bond people early in the game of Survivor?
I mean, absolutely, but it
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it can too.
But I think Ronnie kind of overstepped it
Sure.
a little bit and just assumed,
Right.
oh, well, Elaine doesn't even know what Grey Poupon is, and so I'm going to go after her. She seems like an easy target. And she's a lot smarter than he thought.
Right. No, it definitely would be offensive. Like, I remember this one time there was this person, I'm going to call him Schmon Mitchardson. I was at an event with him and it was cold and he had a Burberry scarf on and I had a Target scarf on and he said, "Take that scarf off, Target." And I said, "Okay, I guess I'll have a cold neck."
Right, because that's what I do.
I remember it well. I remember it well.
Can you see it? No.
Birds of a feather. So yeah, I mean, it was whatever. I don't like him either. I'm on board. I don't like him. I feel like a lot of people are not liking him. A lot of people, chat doesn't really seem to be liking him either. But Debbie Dawn says birds of a feather, so who knows?
But and also too, so we've got our challenge that came up. So
Right.
I thought this challenge was a little hard.
Right.
First challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've been both tribes have been on their own for a couple days now. Still no Jeff.
No Jeff.
You got one of them's got fire thanks to Supermom, Janet.
Mm-hmm.
So now they finally get to come up, and there's Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, and so it talks about Island of the Idols. And of course, they don't know what it is.
Right.
Nobody knows what it is. We do. We know it's Sandra and Boston Rob.
Correct. Our idols.
So,
I was just going to say, do you think that the reason they had to delay Jeff and delay Jeff, but not do the big grand opening with the coming over on the boats and all of those things is because they had to build those 2 giant monuments on that beach? That's where all the money went, clearly. You can kind of see them a little bit below us but you can see it better on the intro graphic.
Yeah.
But they had to build those giant idols on the island. I think that's where the budget went.
Oh my God, huge idols, yeah. Well, I think too. I mean, I think they wanted it to be, the intro was, all about Sandra and Rob too. So
yeah. So but why did you think that was a hard first challenge? Like what's specific? Why?
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you have to run up the rope thingy,
Sure.
which is hard.
Rope thing.
Then you had once you're at the top, then you had to slide down.
So we got sliding.
But some people did it head first, which I thought I forgot who it was, almost broke their neck.
Yeah.
I don't know why people were doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had to get a rope with a grappling hook.
Yep.
And throw it around,
Batman.
hitting the thing to drop the weight to drop the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not done yet.
Okay.
It's just the middle of the challenge. And our Supermom Janet does it first.
I know.
Fire, grappling hook.
Don't mess with Janet.
Supermom.
Yep.
So then they have to then climb up this huge wall where there's a tiny little dental floss rope just hanging there. So nobody, especially, on the purple team, is it the purple team?
Yes. Purple team.
Have to touch each other. Everybody has to touch, including Dan. It's right up Dan's alley because he's right there on the bottom. And so everybody's having to make a human ladder to reach the rope, climbing on top of each other. Okay, we've climbed a rope thingy. We've slid down face first.
Right.
We threw a grappling hook. Now we're crawling over each other on this wall of hell, a wall of terror.
Right.
Once everyone's up, now we have to build. It's a puzzle, and it's not just one weird puzzle where it says Survivor, whatever, and Island of the. We have to build 6 huts.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Well, they didn't have to fill a boat with chickens. They didn't have to do all of the normal stuff, so they can put their effort and energy and time and money into this first challenge.
This should be a couple challenges down the road. This should not be the first. I mean, these castaways are getting, hit hard for this first one. So, we see Orange just struggling. I felt so bad. I felt so bad for Vince. They got one built, and then we see Purple just building one after the other. Purple made it look so easy.
Yep.
It looked easy. Then we see Orange taking apart their hut because they think, oh, this is wrong. It's not wrong. It's built. Leave it alone and start building the next one. Vince was one of the ones that started taking it apart. I was like, oh no, it's going to be, So Purple wins immunity, safe from tribal council.
And I was thrilled. I was thrilled with the Vokai. I'm gonna go with Vokai.
Oh, I like that.
I never remember after, so I can't wait till we do these on Thursday when it's fresh in my mind, not days later. But yeah, Vokai. But yeah, no, I was happy that their tribe won the immunity. Just because it has my ginger on it.
Absolutely. So they won immunity. So now Jeff's got the bag with everybody's name on it. Everybody's name's in there. Elaine has to pick a name. Who's going to Island of the Idol? Who is the first one? And she picks Elizabeth.
Yep.
And Elizabeth's not that happy. And I agree with her. She's not in any of the conversations. And we find out she's not going to sleep over there like, other islands we've had, like, Abandonment Island or whatever that was, Redemption. She's just there for a little bit, a little bit of time, and then she's coming back that evening for Tribal. So she goes to Island of the Idols. We see her walking on the beach. We see those 2 ginormous idol heads. And she knows who they are. And she's so excited. And then we see Sandra and Boston Rob coming out.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So, they read her the rules. They're not there. They can't win the money. They can't vote. They can't do anything. They're there as Survivor mentors.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that is because, A, they piggybacked this premiere onto Big Brother, as they always do, so they know they're getting a large majority of the Big Brother audience, where we always know if you put a returning player into Big Brother, even if you tell us they're coaches and blah, blah, we know they're going in the game. When I saw Boston Rob be like, here's the oath of the... Because I don't ever remember Boston Rob doing the eating the side of his face drunk talk before, but then it kind of came back. But he's like, this is our oath of what is happening. We won't come into game. And I was like, I'm going to feel bad if I find out that you had a stroke, but I just feel like you're eating side of your face. And it's weird, Boston Rob.
I didn't notice that, and I'm horrified.
What?
That's worse than the Target scarf. That's worse.
Well, watch when he talks. It's always like this, like he's Popeye, but Popeye? With a Boston accent. I can't do Popeye and Boston at the same time, but Rob is able to.
Oh my gosh, that is terrible. Well, I don't think they're going to return to the game.
Well, obviously not. They have their oath. They have their oath.
They have their oath.
We will not.
We know the Big Brother people like Brittany. No, but they didn't take an oath. They were coaches and then popped back in the game. So they sit down and they're explaining everything. They're asking. I love how they're asking, how do you feel about your tribe? What's your social thing? Who are your friends? Do you have an alliance? Blah, blah, blah. Then we get into the fire making. So Rob shows Elizabeth how to make a fire. Of course, he makes it look super easy. She goes off with Sandra. Sandra's trying to help her with the fire. And then once they come back all together, she's challenged. She can, if she challenges and beats Rob at making fire, if she wins, she gets an idol for the next 2 tribals. If she loses her vote for that night's tribal.
Correct. So would you have done it, John? Would you have challenged Boston Rob?
No.
So you would not have challenged Boston Rob there?
I know I couldn't beat him. So no, I wouldn't do it because I would be scared that if my tribe or my alliance, whatever situation I was in, found out I did it and lost my vote and I can't even do it, I'd be scared I'd be voted off.
Yeah, but you can tell them whatever you want. Why wouldn't risk anything for an immunity idol? They're not there with you. They don't know. And remember, she just went there not being in a good position with her tribe.
People are going to find out that she lied. And how do you think that's going to go over? Anna lost my vote. I got caught in a lie. I lost my vote. Yeah. Can you trust me? Can you trust me, Target? Huh?
What do you want to? Well, here's what I liked. Well, go ahead. I'm gonna. Are we allowed to say that she did it and failed?
Well, she did. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been over a week. Yeah, she did it and failed. Yeah. He said that they said no, you shouldn't have challenged. You were gonna lose. There's no way you were gonna win.
That was my favorite part, was Boston Rob's confessional, when he's like, what kind of a moron challenges me to build a fire?
But the
I'm Boston Rob.
Was he had something in his pocket to sweeten the deal, and Elizabeth's like, no, I'll do it. I'm an Olympic player. Oh, I'm an Olympic player. So, yeah.
I think that's interesting how he keeps letting us know. Like on that first episode, he's like, this moron challenged me, and if she would have kept going, I could have sweetened the deal. Cut to the next episode where, again, no one's challenging him. Spoiler alert. So then he's like, I have an offer to sweeten the deal. So production was like, these morons are not going to question you. You're Boston Rob. You're just going to have to sweeten the deal on your own, okay? Because they're not going to ask you for a better deal, Rob. You're Boston Rob. They're terrified.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So then Elizabeth gets back. She lies about her experience. She said there was 3 urns. She had to break one, would have an idol or a clue. She broke one. It was empty, and that was her chance. Now she's back. I thought her lie was pretty good. And I don't know, because then we learn later, the next person that went has a similar lie. It's like, well, what's going on?
Well, that is because that is what it was on the first Island of the Idols. The one the season that we didn't watch.
I do remember that one, yes.
Yes, that is why that was that, yes.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So, look at me, my mind's coming back.
Yay.
I must be taking some of my pills.
Your ginkgo biloba?
Playing my brain games. So she's back. She's trying to get into it. Who's doing what, this and that, knowing she does not have a vote. We're now at Tribal Council. Before Tribal Council, we also learned that our sweet Lorraine is also, her name's being thrown around.
Right.
We know Ronnie's was also thrown around. Tom, who is in this alliance of 6, super confident that it's going to be Ronnie, but then I thought Elaine played it really well. Like when they were all talking, like with Aaron, Ronnie, and then she just walked up and she was just like, hey, everybody. And they're like, oh, well, who are you thinking of voting out? I'll do whatever you want. I know you're throwing my name around. And I just thought she handled herself really well.
Yeah. I like the ladies this season. The ladies this season are not taking shit from the guys.
They're not. And Vince was a little nervous because he did kind of feel like he messed up on the puzzle.
Right.
His name was also kind of being thrown out there, but they were really kind of targeting Elaine. And when we were at Tribal Council and we're watching, and she was point blank honest, I'm just too nice. And I loved her thing, like, great, like, don't take me to final 2, but take me a little further. Like, I can help you out. Like, put a pin in it.
Right.
And just come back to it later. And I just thought, oh my God, I just love her. I love her. I use a pin in it all the time.
I like her too.
So, you know, we get the votes and stuff. We kind of think Elaine's in trouble. And then as Jeff's reading them, no. It's our poker player, Thai kickboxer, McDonald's cashier, Target cashier, Best Buy warehouse stalker. You know, he had a million jobs. Trader Joe's, you know. Yeah. FedEx driver. Uber.
He's out.
He's out. He's out, and he's upset, and oh well.
Yeah.
Life goes
Bye,
on.
Ronnie. Bye, Ronnie.
Bye.
So that was pretty much the premiere. So that was what we got
premiere, yeah.
out of the premiere, and now moving briskly along to this last week's episode of them starting with, you know, the drama fallout from that tribal.
Well, we see Aaron, who was kind of, you know, with Ronnie. Really, you know, Ronnie got blindsided, but Aaron also got blindsided. So
Right.
he was really upset that he wasn't involved in any of the votes. I love that our sweet Vince confronts Aaron, who's this big, muscular guy. Like, what up? Why are you voting me out?
Right.
So, you know, we see Missy try to talk to Aaron. Aaron's just like, I don't trust anybody. I don't want to hear you. All lies, you know. And it's just like, whatever. Just go cry. Go in the corner and cry.
Right.
Cry it out. Yeah.
I liked it. I definitely liked it. I love a beginning of the Survivor episode. I love the black and white night shooting where everybody has to scramble because we know they're not allowed to talk on the way to Tribal, that they have to talk, you know, you're allowed to talk after, we'll film it in the dark, but we don't want anyone changing any of their minds beforehand. So I kind of like always the beginning of the episode where we really get to watch the people reacting, because we don't get live feeds. We don't get live feeds, and we don't, you know, really know any more than what they want us to know is going on, what they're showing. Yeah. But go ahead.
Yes. So then we jump to the Purple Tribe, and we get to know Nora a little bit more.
Why
she's complaining.
Why don't you like Nora?
Because she's complaining. Okay. Oh, this, and they don't know how to play that, and oh my God, don't try to build a fire, and you need to put more wood on that fire. Oh, I got sand under my toenails. Oh my God, she's complaining, and of course we know it's the editing, which is funny, but she seems like she has a lot to say early, like she's rubbing people the wrong way, and we see, you know, people like Dan, right? Dan,
doing what?
Oh yes. Just, you know, kind of saying, gosh, she's really complaining a lot, and this. Like, he's pointing everything out, which he's really good at that.
Yes,
I thought it was really good.
Yes.
We find out that Jason reminds Nora of an ex-boyfriend she has. So she's kind of leaning and being attracted to him, which tells me she was broken up on.
Why does that tell you she's broken up on?
Because her heart was still with that ex-boyfriend, and he obviously broke up with her. She didn't break up with him. And now she's finding that love in Jason. Okay.
You really read a lot into that. Can't wait to hear what you think of the yoga session.
It's on here too. Well, this is when my gin and tonic really started kicking in.
Clearly. And I just think that he should take the garbage out sometimes when on the show.
I mean, can't you shut that coconut fast enough? What about me? Sorry, I'm trying to read my notes.
Oh no, it's a John's trying to read his notes.
So Orange, Chelsea builds the fire out of flint.
Right.
She was like one of the first ones to do it. Like you said, our girls are super strong.
Yeah.
On the purple team, finally Nora shuts up long enough to teach a little yoga on the beach. And then all of a sudden, a guy in a boat
Well,
just comes over.
can we
Yes.
talk about yoga on the beach for a moment?
Oh.
Can we just talk about yoga on the beach? Because I want to know, do you think that this is genius by
Look
Nora?
at me leaning in. Did you see me leaning in?
Was this a genius tactic by Laura to, like, this is Survivor. Anybody who has won Survivor or goes far and long in Survivor will always tell you, you don't do anything you don't absolutely need to do. You need to save all of your energy for the challenges and the competitions.
Yeah.
You don't sit there and do yoga to try and build your stamina. You're existing on rice and water. There's no yoga, Nora.
Well, I think it's about balancing your chakras, making your body, your machine work better under these, you know, distressed circumstances of
Right.
starvation
Yeah.
and all of that stuff. So
I still
thought
wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Well, you know, it's really hard. I was doing it in Maui, and I did it one morning, and it was just, I left.
You did
Wasn't fun.
I'm sorry. So just to be clear, by the way, they're coming for you. Just to be clear, you did yoga in Maui.
On the beach.
On the beach.
On the beach.
And then
in Maui.
5 minutes in, you went, I'm done, and walked away.
15 minutes. I was like,
Can I ask what pose you were? Better yet, I'm not going to ask what pose it was. I'm going to tell the people to comment below on the edited version. And let's guess, what was the pose that made Comedy Jonah stop doing beach yoga in Maui? And then next week, we'll see if you were right.
I'll do it. I'll actually do it.
Oh, you'll do the pose? Okay, perfect. Well, then they're going to
I'll
need to
do
watch
the
the
pose.
video version of it
Yeah.
back to see.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Okay, so like you said, then the boat came up with the man in it and saying, I have a message. Go read it with your tribe.
Yep. So we go read the message. We find out it's Kelly's name who was picked because we didn't know from the premiere episode.
Correct.
Kelly gets on the boat, and now she's off to Island of the Idols. She too sees the big idol heads. There's Sandra and Rob come out. They read the little disclaimer that we're not here to win the money. We don't vote. We don't do this and that. But they do watch Tribal Council. That was one thing I thought was really neat too. They're involved. They get to watch everything.
I do love that. I love how they're like, cue the side camera showing them sneaking in.
I love the way they're talking. Would you have a problem voting them out, Pac? No.
Yeah. Nah, that guy would have a problem voting him out.
There's a reason why she won twice, yeah. So, you know, we got Kelly, who's an undergrad student. She's there. She's talking with Boston Rob and Sandra. And we don't know what's going on yet. All we know is that, okay, we're talking, how's your social game? How's this? Oh, and then Sandra starts talking about her dogs and her kids, and Boston Rob is doing, and it's just like, okay, this is a lot of information. Like, I don't even know that much about you. Okay? Like, and we're sitting there, and they're just both twins talking about this, and their dogs' names, and my child, and this and that, and the color of the walls in my house, and burp, 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 burp. And we find out that is Kelly's challenge.
Yeah, no, see,
listening.
I disagree with you here, John. Now, look, I know that a lot of people, and God, if you've learned anything from the start of the show, talking about how hot people were, to the comedy stylings of Comedy Jonah and I, on how, I was going to say how different our show is from like Rob's show, who obviously covers Rob Cesternino, who obviously covers Survivor and stuff, Survivor, but I think we are, like, they're, you know, going to get very much into the science and the specific and the breaking down of the game with Ryan Fishback, blah, blah. Now, however, I feel this is where we could help future Survivor players, because had this been a listener of our podcasts, John, we'd have them trained for this. All you and I do is ramble things quickly at people, super fast and speedy, and they have to try and retain as much of it as they can. I feel this was, like, had she listened to us, I feel like we could have prepared her for this.
Well, I think when you're in a setting where you're in your tribe and you're trying to figure people out and do your social game, absolutely you want to do that. But when you're sitting with Rob and Sandra, why do I need to know all this information? I don't care about your kids and your dog. And like, what's the challenge? And then we find out that that is the challenge. And even Kelly, who's super smart, you know, is getting tested right on the spot. And that's nerve-wracking.
I just want to be very clear. So you're telling me that if you were in her place and you got sent to the island of the idols, they read you their quote, they both sit you down, they both start talking about jobs and husbands and kids and that you would have sat there and been like, I don't care.
No.
You deserve to lose.
I wouldn't have shown it, but I would have half listened like Kelly did.
Have you never watched a reality TV show before? Obviously, this is going to be important. You're in an island where when you walked through, there was 2 mountains of them.
Not playing, not voting, can't win the money. No, I don't need all your information. Okay,
Oh
I need the information of my tribe so I can beat them and win.
It was so, I agree, Denise. It was so obvious. John lost Survivor. That's why John can't play Survivor. He would have lost. Of course, that's what the test was going to be. It was so obvious.
So that's the test, and she's thinking about taking it.
And then is stupid.
Rob sweetens the deal.
Mm-hmm. Because she's like, no, I don't think so. I think I have a bad memory. I think I'm a PhD and a Harvard graduate, med school. But I've decided that answering 5 questions is too hard. I was like, what? And then, like I said, production was like, okay, they're not going to ask for you to make it easier, so you have to deal sweeten. And then Rob's like, okay, 3 questions. And then she's like, okay. And the questions are like, the sky last night was dark because the sun went away, but now the sun's out. What color is the sky? And she's like, blue. They're like, that's right. The questions were so stupid.
Well, it was like the kids' names, which, I don't know. I mean, if you're half listening and stuff. But anyway, she gets all 3 questions.
Yeah.
The first time. She gets the idol. Mm-hmm. She has to go back. And then she, too, tells the same story of the 3 urns from the first time of Island of the Idols.
Right.
All right. So then let's just jump into the challenge.
Yes, let's jump into the challenge.
So we need to swim out and release a ladder from the ocean floor.
Yep.
So early in the game.
You do know. What do you want them to do in the beginning of the game, John? Do you want the beginning of the Survivor game to be like hopscotch on the beach, like tea party, like the musical chairs?
Jacks on the beach.
Musical chairs for the first challenge. Let's all tweet at Jeff and say these challenges are complicated.
The first one was the worst. This one wasn't as bad.
Yeah.
Then they have to get the ladder. Then they have to balance the ladder to get this bag of balls.
Mm-hmm. Then they have to bring it to the beach.
They have to go to the beach, and then they have to then untie the bag, and then they got to toss the balls.
They have to make the ladder bridge to go across so that they can, like, run across with the ladder bridge. And then they're at the part where it's skeet ball. That's all it is. It was just, you know, you have to do the skeet ball and get them in the holes. And I have to say, I kind of, a little bit, was like, ooh, I don't know which team I want to win because, you know, my purple tribe still has Hottie, Long Hair I Care, and Ginger Hottie, but then orange team still has Madru. So I was, like, very upset in the, ooh, I don't know who's going to win, who's going to lose, but go ahead.
No, I'm just looking, my notes are all disheveled.
I was, Purple is the team, right? Purple was the team that ended up losing it. Right, because they won the first one, they lost the second one. So our orange team, or Laro, a tribe, was the winner. And now, Mahat, Ginger, and Long Hair I Care are in trouble.
Which was scary.
It was scary.
But he was never in trouble. So Nora's name was being thrown around.
And Molly.
Also, it was Molly's name was being thrown around. Boy, Nora just really went after with Molly. Like, even just before council, oh, she's one of the, like, cliquish. Oh, those kind of girls. Like, just not a lady's lady.
No.
Seemed very, yeah.
I liked Molly, which is not a popular opinion of many people, apparently.
What is wrong with Molly? I liked her, too. She didn't really do anything.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I understand why you like Molly, because she's pretty and look like she has money. So that's why you like her.
I could sell her house.
She looks like Felicity from that TV. You probably thought it was Felicity from that TV show, and you're like, she's famous. I like her. No, that is not Felicity. So that's why you liked her. She looks like she's rich on that island. That's why I would have kicked her right out. She's like, my hair is big and curly and beautiful, and I don't know how it's possible to remain this on the island. She was
having fun with the shell. And,
yeah.
You know, yeah, like she was just
fun times
and easy going. Yeah.
Yeah, but
and
no.
So, no. So I thought Nora was super in trouble. You know, she was kind of bonding with Jason. Jason seemed like his name was also being kind of thrown around as well. But Nora was more in trouble than he was. And at Tribal Council, yeah.
And Tribal Council, Molly, it was the flippy switchies again.
This was just a super blindside because Molly went home.
I was totally shocked to see it be such a blindside of... I mean, not really totally shocked to see it be a blindside of Molly, but... Yeah, I mean... I get why their tribe had to do it. You know, it came down a lot on Nick, on our Hot Ginger's head. It came down a lot to him. Was he going to go with the thing that was the smarter move to push his game forward, or did he want to go with the people who, you know, weren't as popular and weren't as much in the in crowd? And I thought it was very interesting that they were trying to make it seem like he was torn between the popular people or the not popular people, the pretty people. It's almost like they were like, how do we tie this into this season's Big Brother?
So he was the Christie of the season.
I wouldn't say that, but I mean, I think it was a good choice. I did like Molly, but I understand where they were going with it, and I understand why they felt it was best for their game to get rid of Molly on this episode.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Who would you have gotten rid of then?
Nora.
Just because you don't like her?
I don't like her telling me what to do and complaining all the time. I mean, what? She taught us 3 yoga moves? Okay, I memorized them. Next.
Okay, well then she's off the island. Nope, didn't work. Didn't work. I love, Diane says, I love when Sandra... right, we forgot to talk about that. How she hid her idol after she got the questions correctly. She hid the idol in her hair to bring it back to the island.
Anne was being hugged and she was scared that the idol... Yes, thank you so much for mentioning that. Yes, that was brilliant.
See, I don't...
say, look at my bag. Look at my bag. I don't have it.
I thought that was a brilliant point, but I don't think it was in the back. They made it seem like it was the part that everybody was hitting. I don't think that's where she put it. I think she put it like way up, like right pressed against her head, and then like tied it in with rubber, because there is no way they were hitting that and it didn't fall out. And Annie agrees with you, and Annie says, I wish Nora was leaving as well. Well, yeah. I mean, you and John agree. Look, I didn't really want Molly to leave either, but I do think it was probably the best for, for Hot Ginger.
He needs to buck up.
All right, well, we'll see. Well, that's where we are on this. Now, look, everybody, it's obviously no secret that John and I rushed through that to get it done in an hour for all of you. I promise now that we are caught up going forward for the rest of the season, we will be way more talking about strategy. We just really had to try and squeeze it into the 1 hour time block, and I think we did kind of okay with that. And now you get the vibe. But going forward from here, we will talk much more in depth about what is happening in the game. We just had to cover 3 hours in one, and well, I guess we did good. Comedy Jonah. Now, we're going to do these on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern going forward, correct? Is that our time slot?
Let me check really quick.
Let's check.
It sure is.
Okay.
It sure is.
So it'll be Thursday nights at 7 o'clock from now on. So it'll be the day after Survivor ends is when these our Survivor recap shows will be now going forward. So I am excited to now spend this season and talk Survivor with you, John, and I'm even more excited to hopefully have this Big Brother interviews done soon.
Oh my gosh, I know. You're doing amazing.
We already have Nicole if people missed it. We just did Cliff. We have Nick on tomorrow night. We have Tommy on Tuesday. And we will see who's here Wednesday. But Comedy Jonah, where can people follow you if they want to see what you're saying on social media?
I'm on all social media platforms at Comedy Jonah.
Perfect. All right, everybody, we will see you guys on the next Survivor show. We'll see you guys then. Bye for now, everybody. Bye, friends. Bye, guys.